Like, seeing all these people buying, like, 100 rolls of toilet paper, it's like, come on! Like, come on! Do you think you will need 100 rolls? Like, I know a lot of people like to talk shit, but you don't need toilet paper for that. Like, yeah, Nathan, it's like a chain reaction. Some people started buying a shit ton of paper, people posted it on social media, and then people that wouldn't have done it are doing it now because they're afraid that they will be left without any. Like, I'm not saying if you buy like 2 packs of toilet paper, like, or something like that, I'm not saying that's like, you know, unreasonable. But like, people that buy like 10 packs and like 8 rolls in each pack or something, is like, are you serious? Like, how many shits are you gonna have? Like, not that okay, if you have a massive family, sure. But like, if you're like 1 or 2 people, you're not even gonna use like 1 roll a day. And if you buy like 80, it's like, how long do you think you're gonna be inside? But let's say you use 1 a day to make like the math simple. Then you have toilet paper for 80 days. Actually, none did better at Summit. He did better at Summit. I used to have a hard time to see his style actually work for a full set. Especially when he already had a good performance, because that means Hungerbox will be more ready this time. That's the thing, like, even if you beat someone once, the hardest time to beat someone is the second time. That's the thing. Because like, you can catch people off guard. No one is immune to like getting caught off guard. But when you have beaten them once, then you need to be more than ready to beat them again. But don't get me wrong, I love Nun. He's one of my favorite players to watch, and he's one of my let's go, that was sick. And he's one of my favorite like people in the Smash scene. No, when I lost to Leffen, it was like my first tournament back after not competing for like a year pretty much. So Leffen actually beat me the second time too. Or actually I destroyed him in winners the next tournament, but he destroyed me in grands. But then after that, I started to consistently beat him again. And then after that, we started going back and forth. And then we had stretches where he won a lot or I won a lot. But I think with Leffen as well, like it was a combination of me just coming back to the scene, or coming back to competing rather, and the fact that Leffen was actually at that S tier level. I would put Amsa a little bit below S tier, yeah. Don't get me wrong, I love Amsa as well, but I'll probably put like S tier. Like, I'll put S tier. I would say. Like, ranking, honestly, I would probably have, like, Leffen, Hungrybox, Mango, same. I think I would have, honestly, Plup and Mewtwo King, like, when they are in shape, would be there, too. Plup's performance at Summit, like, that's the S-tier Plup we know. But, yeah, those 2 players have to, like, perform like that. Still. Honestly, like, Leffen has been shaky lately too, but I know he is that good. I talked to him a little bit at Summit, and I basically told him that if he wants to like win these tournaments, he needs to practice more melee. Because I really don't believe that it's like Leffen, like that a lot of people have improved that much. I actually think it's Leffen had not been playing enough melee. Like, honestly, when I look at him play, he actually looked like he was more clean in 2018. Like, since EVO 2018, I don't think he has had a tournament that is like nearly as good, pretty much. Maybe SmashCon. I actually didn't see too much from that tournament. I know he won very decisively, but in a lot of like faster paced matchups, you can see the issue. Like, don't get me wrong, Puff is a very, very annoying and tricky matchup, but if you're not the most in shape, like speed-wise, you will still be there, right? Even if you're playing a little bit slow, you will still be faster than Puff and Fox. But in a lot of other matchups, like let's say Falco, it's much easier for your rust to show because Falco can like control the pace of the match in like other ways. Like Puff can control it in the way where she positions herself so you can't attack. But that's not increasing the speed by any means. That's like slowing it down. And if you're rusty, a lot of like faster and trickier execution stuff is normally what's harder to do. I mean, excuses, Leffen has always like expressed those things. So I don't think that's any part of the issue. I think it's more that he's like been playing a lot, not Ultimate recently, but since Ultimate came out, he has played it a lot. And then, yeah, Grand Blue. I know he has dabbled in some other games too, but I'm not really sure if I can say it's been a lot because I'm not really sure. But I mean, like, in one way it makes sense because he also wants to, like, grow his stream. He wants to grow his brand. And Leffen is, like, pretty unique in that way of, like, the Smash players to play a lot of these other like traditional fighters. So he basically has that market uncontested. So it makes sense from the money making perspective. But that's also the thing if you're a competitor and a content creator, that sometimes you have to pick a bit more money but probably worse results, or better results but probably less money. And that can be hard sometimes. For me, I always put priority on results over money. But that's because, for me, I had, like, this crazy desire to always, like, just win. I don't really want to speak for other people because I don't know, you know, their line of thinking. And even if I did, I wouldn't judge them if they, you know, would go for more results or more for money. Alright. I'll explain to you. So, if Ultimate is easier than Melee, why is no Melee player competing good? First of all, I think you're actually quite wrong. I think it is a few of the Melee players that are quite good. Like, Leffen beats Weak, for example. He beats Salem. Plup has some good wins as well. I got 17th at Evo. So, that's just, like, objectively incorrect. And then, on top of that too, Smash 4 and Ultimate are very, very similar. If you were an expert in Smash 4, you basically... It's like, let's say this is a Pokemon game. If you're a Melee player, you might start at like level 10, because you still have fundamentals from Smash, right? But if you started in Smash 4, you might be at like level 60 already. Because the game... The combo system, much more similar. Ledge trapping does not even exist in Melee. A lot of characters don't even exist in Melee that are, you know, in this game. And even the characters that are in this game, or that was in Melee and this game, they play much more similar to the Smash 4 counterpart rather than Melee. Like, for me, I never lost a single time to Pikachu in Melee, but I feel like I don't know the matchup in this game at all. If you know how to fight Pikachu in Smash 4, it's a very, very high chance that you're at least solid at the matchup in this game. Besides, when we remove all these factors, a lot of the Melee players, let's say Leffen, Plup, Wizzy, they are competing in Melee at the same time, while none of the Ultimate players that are really good compete in Melee at the same time. They also have significantly less tournaments in Ultimate. Do you see where I'm coming at here? Even if Ultimate is easier, it's such a disadvantage. And the fact that people somehow believe that Melee players would like catch up in 1 month or 2 months, it shows how delusional people are at the issue. Maybe not you because you're asking a genuine question, but a lot of people that like sincerely believe it, straight up delusional. Honestly, with how little people, like a lot of the good Melee players have entered Ultimate, I think the Melee players actually did really good for the most part. Like, I know I didn't take any sets at Summit, but like entering 5, I think 5 tournaments, maybe 6 in Ultimate's lifespan. And I could still push like top 10 players like Light to game 5. Every game against Leo was like super close, and he's like by far the best in the world. Like, honestly, I think melee players, taking all those things into consideration, melee players actually did really good. I think pretty much all of the top melee players could be, if they really grinded. But that's also a thing that people don't take into consideration. Like, let's say for someone like me, like 90-95% of my game time is playing shitty ass online where my main is not even viable. And by viable, I mean that you're not really gonna improve. Some characters are more okay to play online. I personally think Inkling sucks ass online, relatively speaking. Because the thing is also, it's not like you can't only look at like wins and losses. You have to look, how can the character be played online compared to how you play them offline. So even if you can like sometimes get away with like shitty ass rollers, that's not gonna help you to beat good players. Even if you like get like a relatively high winning ratio online, if you have to like swap up your style a lot with a character, that doesn't help you for offline. The thing is, like, when you also think about like how some games are more similar, certain skill sets are not nearly as much tested in Ultimate, and you don't get rewarded for the same things. Let's say you are an expert on edge guarding in melee. That's not really gonna give you that much in Ultimate. But if you're an expert on ledge trapping, that will help you a lot in Ultimate, but it won't help you at all in melee, unless if you play against Peach. And that's not me being biased, it's just Peach doesn't have like a ledge dash, so you legit can ledge trap the character. Alright, that was the SD. I shouldn't have said anything. Like, if you take a pro Ultimate player and they play melee, a lot of their biggest strengths are not going to be rewarded in melee as well. Like, of course, some stuff translates over, but the games are incredibly different. But sadly, we have never really seen any of the top Smash, like Ultimate players, or like when they played Smash 4, or even when they played Brawl. We haven't really seen any of them play melee. The only ones that did were people that started with melee. Like, let's say, Larry and Isan. But once Brawl came out, none of those players really gave melee a try, sadly. Like, people have this idea, like, that melee players never gave any of the new games a chance, which is not true. But none of those like newer players really give melee a chance, and in one way it's understandable because melee is older, but it's still like, if you look at it objectively, it is actually like the case. You don't see like those players ever enter melee really. I think Tweak did it like a few tournaments, but that's pretty much it.